Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all having a really beautiful day. Today's video is actually going to be a really exciting video, and it's actually the first larger painting I've done on this channel, and it's first of many more to come. And this Friday's painting is actually my entry for Jenna Drawings contest. And this is her 11,000 subscriber contest, and I think at the moment she has 12,000, she just hit it. So congratulations, Jenna, on the amazing subscriber count, super inspiring, and I love all of your art. And honestly guys, if you're not subscribed to her, she does amazing traditional and digital art, and fun challenges, and she's honestly such an amazing art YouTuber, and I watch all of her videos probably more than once. So you should all go subscribe to her, and if you haven't already, you should enter this contest. The contest theme was to create either a traditional or digital piece which depicts one of her 2 OCs that are going to be in her new comic, which is coming out at the end of the summer, I think, and I'm super excited for it. And the 2 OCs you could pick from are her original characters Ember and Akira, and they're both starring in this new comic. So this contest was kind of not only celebrating the subscriber count, but also kind of celebrating, the release of the comic and her original characters and all that stuff. And I'm really excited for the comic, and I knew I had to enter this contest the second it was announced, because not only do I love all of her original characters, and I especially love the character I drew in this painting, which I will get to in a little bit, but I also just love her art, and I want to support her with everything she does. So this painting is an original painting. It's acrylic on canvas, and I did it on an 8x16 canvas, which is actually my favorite size for canvases, you guys. I actually find that painting on 11x14 or really anything like that massive is really hard. And I mean, that's not that big, but that shape is hard for me to fill because I suck at backgrounds. So even the background I did on this painting was stretching it. However, I find that the long, kind of slender canvases are really easy to work on, because I can fit a character on that pretty easily, and maybe some extra details, and I usually put flowers or mushrooms or butterflies around the characters. So I find that these kind of narrow sizes kind of fit my themes a little bit better. However, I'm getting better at doing bigger stuff. This was 8x16, which I feel is pretty big compared to other things I've done. And the OC that I chose to paint is her original character Ember, and she's actually the main character in this comic, and the comic's actually called Ember. So I chose her because not only does she have the coolest hair ever, and her entire design is just bright colors and soft features, and it's pretty much all the stuff that I like to do when it comes to my art. And in the scene that she's in the story, she's trying to escape. Well, it's not very hard, I don't think, but something happens in her magical world, and she has to kind of escape her home and go off and try to save her kingdom and her family. And I mean, it's such a cool story idea, and I'm really wanting to get into story writing myself, and I wrote a lot when I was younger, so I'm excited to read this and to kind of see what other artists are creating and writing. And in this painting, she's kind of halfway, completely free of her castle and her home, and then halfway into this unknown that she's about to go into to save and conquer, well, not conquer, but save her family and her people. And she's kind of contemplating whether to really go through with it. And I'm not that good at showing emotions when it comes to faces and stuff. I'm getting better at it, but this painting I really wanted to focus on crazy lighting and a background and making Ember look like it's in my style, and I think I completed that. But she's kind of contemplating whether to really go off and leave her family and those she loves, or if she should stay and not take this risk and just, be safe about it. So that's the idea behind the painting. And it probably took me 7 to 10 hours. I'm not sure. I know my camera has to record for 27 minutes at a time. And I probably recorded 40 freaking clips. However, they were all different lengths, so I wasn't going to go through and try to add it all up. Plus, I already deleted most of the footage because my computer doesn't have that much it doesn't have that much space in it. So whenever I upload something massive, I can't leave it on my computer after editing because I don't have the space for it, and I need to be able to put more videos on there. Oh, and you guys, I found a way to keep my freaking tripod from falling on me. I stacked a bunch of dictionaries on all the legs, So now it stays pretty stable while it's over me. Oh, and I'm sorry, my head is like really present in this freaking video. And I'm trying to do better when it comes to the next videos to keep my head out of it. I actually keep my dog on my lap while I'm painting, and that kind of keeps me with good posture and not kind of like hunched over the painting when you all can see like my head and stuff. So I'm sorry about that, but I don't think it makes that big of a difference. At times the camera freaking autofocuses on my head and away from the painting, and I don't know how to turn that off on my camera. I watched Bailey J's kind of like 20 tips to start a YouTube channel out, and she says to make sure autofocus is always off and like to focus it on the painting and then turn it off. However, I don't know how to do that on my camera, and I don't want to mess anything up. And my camera also has a weird setting where it makes everything look like really like, not like bright, because I mean the colors in this are very bright, but it kind of turned her hair like a neon orange, when in reality it was like kind of like a maroony red, like a bright red almost, with oranges mixed in. And I think that is shown in like the final image I show, but for a while her hair is like neon pumpkin orange, which I didn't mean for it to look like that. I just really didn't realize what it was doing until like I actually plugged my SD card into the computer and saw the footage and sped it up. So I'm sorry the colors are kind of off, but it's really just with her hair. And I mean, oh, and I'm doing this right now in the video. Since this is a fantasy story, I wanted to do a cool background for it, and I wanted to kind of do like an epic landscape, and I don't really know what the castle looks like in the comic, except for a couple little appearances it's had in her videos, but I wanted to do something like really extreme and crazy looking for the background, so I kind of did like a Disney castle, a very like intimidating looking like crazy castle. And since Ember's colors are like reds and blues and purples, I really wanted to contrast the red with a purple background as well as the blue with an orange background. So I kind of did like a sunrise over like mountains, or a sunset over mountains, and in the distance you can see the castle. And I also decided to add like floating islands with waterfalls and stuff. I know those are probably not in the story, but I really wanted to play around with the cool background, and I felt like the sky was really empty without it. So in the end I really like try to add detail onto those islands and on the castle, and I really like how it turned out. I have it hanging on my wall right now, and it's kind of made some appearances in my social media, and people have asked me about it, and that's why I did it, just because the background is a little too plain. Oh, and just so you guys know, every single one of my acrylic paintings, I'm telling you, goes through a freaking zombie phase, and I call it the zombie phase. I think other artists call it the zombie phase, but I call it the zombie phase. And that's basically when it's so unfinished that whatever character I'm painting looks like a freaking zombie or a freaking monster. And this painting had a pretty long one, because I kept kind of reworking her skin tone and reworking her features, and eventually I get it right, and I really like how she looks at the end of it. However, she does go through the little zombie phase, and all the paintings I'm probably going to do are going to have a zombie phase, and sometimes they last for such a long time that I just want to like quit the painting. However, usually once they're like almost like looking how I like them to look, I feel comfortable with it again, and I usually end up getting them to look pretty nice. But that's just something to look out for in every acrylic painting I do. And it's not really something I can like avoid unless I really do a crazy sketch. But I find sketching on the canvas so boring, and I just want to get in and paint. And I know that's bad, but like when it comes to watercolor, I need to have like strict kind of like sketches, because I need to be able to know where I'm gonna paint. However, with this, since it's acrylic, I can just do whatever on top of whatever, and it doesn't really affect it any if I do a crazy sketch or not. Except that I get a zombie phase. But I really like how she turned out in the end. And I stayed up so much a couple nights ago freaking finishing this, and it was completely worth it, because I actually think this is probably one of my better paintings I've ever done when it comes to like backgrounds and lighting. And I loved casting the flame like on her hair and her dress and the background. And I think my favorite part of this entire freaking thing is not only watching like the hair be created, but also watching me blend out the purple mountains into the flame color. I feel like it looks so pretty and like it's almost oil painting, and I really want to get into oil painting, so that was really satisfying. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to play music for the rest of the speed paint. I tried to keep it under 20 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm like taking drinks of my water. I tried to keep it under 20 minutes, but I don't know if 15 minutes is still too long for a speed paint. And most of my acrylic paintings take me hours and hours. So I mean, if I do a Friday video, it'll probably be more like 10 to 15 minutes every time. Probably more around 10 because this was really long. This took me a very long time. But yeah, I hope you like it, Jenna. And you should all go check out her channel again and enter this contest if you haven't already. I think you have to the end of the month, like September 1st or something. And I've looked at the other entries and I'm obsessed with all of the entries. And so many of you have like shown me your work and it's all been amazing. So yeah, I mean, thanks again for hosting this contest, Jenna. And I'm super excited to see what you have to say about this painting, to hear what you have to say. And I hope you all like this piece. And I will definitely see you again a bunch next week. I have 2 videos for sure coming out, and I actually am about to work on another contest entry for next Friday, and it's for Failed Artist Contest, and I'm very excited about that as well. So I love you all, and thank you so much for the support, and I will see you all on Monday.
you.